This is the Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge. The Rangitikei district in the heart of the North Island is known for its wide open spaces, verdant farmlands and breathtaking scenery. And of course, the 253-kilometre long Rangitikei River. The riverbank's the perfect spot for all types of tourist activity, including world-class brown and rainbow trout fishing. Its sheer gorge walls and rapids ideal for kayaking and whitewater rafting. Regular watchers of the event will notice some significant changes, the biggest being avoiding the mud. Yes, we're doing our bit for the environment. The other change is the ability to stop and reverse on the course if needed, and a time limit on all but the speed-sensitive courses. Course number 1 is the Banks Crane Hire, and it's essentially an off-camber start across the bank and then a blast up the hill. First to go, this will be Killer B2. This is Greg and Chris McDowell. It's the Mayor of Rangitikei that sounds the horn to get us underway. Remember, we weren't here last year due to the COVID, so the anticipation is great as we watch the progress of this CowperTruck. So they've missed gate number 1, that was by choice. Up through 2 and 3 now, that's okay, but 4 is going to prove them a bit of a problem and they're not going to go too much further. Now have a look at the time limit. There's a 60-second time limit. As we watch the time count down, if they've got time to get off this obstacle, they'll be right. They don't, and that is just the 200 points for the brothers from Hamilton. This is Scott Briggs and Sam Thompson. Scott is the defending champion of the Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge and the national champion as well. So he's safely through 1, hit gate number 2, through 3, okay, now negotiates 4, does it perfectly. Well, like so many different events with multiple rounds, it's easy to throw it away in the first one. You can't win the title in the first round, but you can very easily lose it. And that's certainly not on the mind of Scott Briggs as we zoom in on his facial expressions as he sets out to hit the loud button and get the Nitro Customs truck to the top of the hill, and he does so, and he picks up 900 valuable points. Well, next to go, this is Jared Briggs. This is Scott's twin brother. In the early days of their career, they paired up, but for the last few years here at the Suzuki Extreme, they have been enemies. Jared's second to his brother in the national title chase, and so far so good as he works his way through 4. Now up on to 6 now. 900 horsepower under the right foot in this LS Chevy Supercharged. And you'll see by the time clock he's got plenty of time, so he reverses up, lines up for this flying finish here. Banks Crane Hire bring it to you. It's course number 1 and lots of elevation. Oh, he's in trouble now and he's going over. Not the way he wanted his challenge to start. Well, Jared Briggs gets off to a terrible start here in course number 1. Here it is from a different angle. Plenty of elevation. I think the landing caught them out a little bit here, and then once they were sideways on the hill, well, it was always a bit of a gamble. It was a gamble that didn't pay off, and over they go. This is Phil Walton. The truck is Avenger, or the Avenger. It's a Nitro Bray combo in construction. Phil's been on both sides of the truck. He's been a driver, and he's been a co-driver with his father. He's got Brendan Austin sitting alongside him at the moment and looking pretty darn good. In fact, perfect as he turns and heads towards gate number 6. Have a look at the drop-down scoreboard. So 5 out of 5 so far, over 6, no problem at all, and plenty of time in hand. If you have a look at the countdown timer, 20 seconds to get this last bit absolutely dead right. Plenty of experience with Phil Walton, and is he going to get it absolutely dead right? It's going to be a bit of a crawl to the top, but he gets there, and that's the first perfect run we've seen on the Banks Crane Hire course number 1. Happy faces all around. Have a look at the elevation these guys are getting. They are loaded for bear for 2021. So next to go it is Derek Smythe and Paul Chapman, and this is another Nitro truck. Brunton Engineering, the sponsors, and that is Derek's company. Let's explain the scoring for you. Each of the gates is worth 100 points. If you clear the gate without touching it, that's 100 points in your tally. Plus, we've got the time limit to look out for as well. You've got 60 seconds to complete the course. You can go backwards and forwards on it. Get yourself lined up as long as you're within the time limit. Well, Derek, not quite perfect there. Looked like he clipped gate 2 just by the merest of touches. Cleared 6 without any problems at all. And this is the part of the course, the Banks Crane Hire course, that's been giving a lot of the competitors some issues. A lot of people were a bit trepidatious when they were watching. What can Derek Smythe do? Oh, and he can't get to the top either. And Derek's got the nitro truck stopped, and he might have hurt himself in that one. Here it is on the replay. Oh, and you just see, just got caught on that big ridge right at the top, so all the suspension in the world wasn't going to help. Next to go, this is Neville Mather and Richard Werner, another nitro truck. So remember, it's 100 points for every gate you clear. And Neville is perfect so far. And even though it looked aggressive, he still is the perfect score so far. So as he clears gate 5, that's 500 points. Through 6, that's 600. Plenty of time as well. You can see the communication between the co-pilot and the driver there, all mic'd up. Away goes the nitro truck. Now, is he going to be able to get up over the top? Yes, he can, and that is 1,000 points. So that is the second perfect run we've seen on course number 1, and that is up for the challenge. Next to go, this is Stuart and Liam Earl, another CowperTruck powered by an LS3 Chev. Thompson tyres. So through 3, negotiates 4. Oh, and then lands on the front wheels and tippy-toes his way towards gate 5, but I think he cleared 5. Now he lines up for 6. Remember, you can reverse, you can stop and reverse. That's a new innovation this year. How is he through 6? He's perfect. Once again, the front taking most of the work as he lines up, backs up. Got to keep away from the Suzuki boundary tape. You touch the tape, your time stops. Away he goes. Oh, and he's got it a little bit too sideways, and that's gone right over the top of 8 and 9 by the look of it. Gets through to 10, but it's 900 good points for Stu and Liam Earl. So much for the drivers to think about. Have a look at this, just tippy-toeing on the front wheels. Not very often the back comes up that high and it comes back in one piece, but it does for the Earls. Plenty of air as he negotiates 8 and 9. Next to go, the father and son combination of the Mackays out of Hamilton. That's Dave and Reese, another Cowper truck. LS Chevy powered, fuel injected, of course. You see, once again, they line everything up. They've got time. Just got 40 seconds ticked by. These guys finished 3rd in their first attempt 2 years ago here at Turkina. Came within an ace of winning the event, but were bogged down in the final course, which was the mud course, and that cost them the victory. This is going to be a pretty good run for the Mackays. In fact, it's going to be a perfect run for Dave and Reese Mackay. So that's the way to do it. Up for the Challenge is the name of the course. It's brought to you by Banks Crane Hire. Now this is a brand new Cowper truck, and this is Kevin Hermison, Hermie to his mates, sitting in the driving seat. This is a supercharged LSA Chev, mid-mounted. Oh, look at that, just tiptoeing on the balance point for Hermie. Well, he just clipped 4 as he looks to negotiate 6. He threw 5, through 6 without any problems at all. This guy only knows one way, and that's grip it and rip it, and that's what you see here. Once again, tremendous amount of air under this brand spanking new Cowper truck, and he's broken something on the landing. Here it is on the replay. Well, they say what goes up must come down. That's a pretty heavy impact for Hermie. Here it is from a different angle. Look at the elevation. This brand new, innovative truck. Up for the challenge. Let's see how Wayne and Rachel Buckthorpe go. Father and daughter combination. Wayne was around at the very first Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge back in 2015, making a welcome return, the man from Taranaki. Buckthorpe Engineering, his sponsor. This is a Howard truck. And Brian is our driver release man in each of the hazards. So he'll be watching the progress of this one, interestingly. So far, perfect through 6. This is where the problems have started for the earlier competitors. Maybe just clip 9, I think. Can you get all the way to the top? No, but he's got time to have another go at it. 19 seconds remain on the clock, a 60-second time limit, remember. Can he do it the second time round? No, he can't. And he's decided to call it quits, decided that's enough. Next to go, one of the locals. This is Hamish Arrett and Paul Barnes. This is another CowperTruck powered by a Chev Corvette, rumoured to have around about 700 horsepower. And the rumours persist that Hamish has got the truck for sale. He's been in every single of the Suzuki Extreme Challenges. Finished on the podium 4 times, but has never won. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So far, so good. He's perfect. Is Hamish Arrett, the horse trainer from Wanganui. Pertec are the sponsors. Shouldn't be a problem with all the power under the hood to get the CowperTruck to the top, and he does so. And another perfect round for Hamish Arrett and Paul Barnes. This is the General. This is Russell Luders. Another CowperTruck. Remember, you've got to go through the gates without touching them. You're not allowed to touch the Suzuki boundary tape. And of course, you're under a time limit. If you've got time, you can reposition, you can stop, you can reverse up and have another go. So far, so good for Russell. He's perfect through 6. So that's 600 valuable points. Now you'll see him back up. You've got to keep it off the Suzuki boundary tape, remember. Touch the tape and your course is over. Oh, and he's made that a little bit hard for himself, but now gets the power to the ground and another perfect round. This is Phil Cameron and Bo Taylor. Phil's been around this scene for a long, long time. Through 4 perfectly, down onto 5. Oh, did he skim 5? Well, it'll be the judge's call. If he did, he only just did. And the judges say he did. Through 6, so 500 valuable points. Now comes the interesting part. Look at the concentration on the face of Phil Cameron. Is he going to get to 10? Yes, he's going to get through the course, but he touched one gate, so it won't be the perfect score, but it'll be 900 valuable points. So after the first round, we have a 5-way tie at the top. Walton, Mather, McKee, Orette and Luders, all on 1,000. So a 5-way tie at the front. There's plenty more action to come right after the break here from Turakina. Welcome back to the Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge for 2021. We're up to course number 2, and that's brought to you by BB Construction. No time for smoko. Basically, it's an out and back course, but there's a few more fishhooks in it than that, and of course, it's against the clock. You saw those pegs, the red pegs and the yellow pegs. You hit them, they are penalty spots. So up the hill goes Scott Briggs. Oh, look at that. How sideways do you want to be? Well, it's about risk and reward, and man, oh man, he was so close to going over that time. Oh, and he's hit the yellow peg there, so that's a 10-second time penalty. Wow, what a brilliant, aggressive display of racing here from the current New Zealand champion and the defending Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge champion, using all the power of the LS Chevy on the #1 Nitro Customs truck. Once you get to the top, you've got to get to the bottom. You've got to stay off the pegs, and that's exactly what he's done. And that is a good time, too, for Scott Briggs. 43.93 with just the 10 penalty seconds. Look at this. This is as close to crashing as you can get. Now, his brother, his twin brother, would have been watching all this. So what can Jared do this time around? Fletch Crawford, the navigator. Oh, he's gone over again. He did it in hazard #1. And it's gone under its lid again. This isn't the start those boys were looking for. In fact, it's gone terribly wrong. Here it is in the super slow-mo. hits the tape, don't worry about that, gets upside down in the process. It's a testament to the safety and the build construction of these trucks, both of them A-OK. In fact, Jared giving it to the crowd here, the big crowd. Next to go, this is Phil Walton out of Auckland, heading up to the hill. Oh, and I think he just clipped the tape then. I thought I saw the Suzuki boundary tape move. The officials would be more eagle-eyed than I would, but they'll be onto this, I'm sure. So yes, the penalty sign comes up, so he did, he's hit the tape, so it's all for nothing from here on. Walton can't believe it. Here it is in super slow-mo, just gets the Suzuki tape. And of course that means now that he will take the slowest overall time. This is Neville Mather and Richard Werner. Good so far. Another one that takes all the courage and gathers it all up and lets the truck have its head, and it slides down the off-camber side of the hill. Keeping off the penalty pegs, the red peg and the yellow pegs. This is a good run so far for Neville Mather. 31-13, the official score. So have a look at this. How did he save this? Well, that's a testament to the beadlocks and to the tyres on these things. Here it is from a different angle. That's as sideways as you want to get. And poor old Neville nearly tasted the grass. Stuart and Liam Earl, the father and son combination, the accountant in the CowperTruck, and he's hit the tape as well right from the get-go. And just to add insult to injury, it's gone all wrong as he comes across the off-camber side of the hillside. Here it is, you're riding on board here with the Earls as they take a not-so-soft landing in the grass. All this was for nothing because he clipped the tape as he left the start line. So next to go, it is the Hamilton pairing of Dave and Reese Mackay. It's another CowperTruck, sponsored by Mackay Contracting. Belt cinched, away they go. Remember, this is a speed event, it's against the clock. So a cautious approach. I'm sure Dave would have seen a few go wrong by hitting the tape earlier on, so he's going to be nice and cautious. Remember, you've got to keep off the red pegs and the yellow pegs. They will assess you a 10-second time penalty. So far, so good for the father and son combination. This is going to be a pretty good run, I would think. They get to the top without any problem at all. Time ticking by. This is a pretty fast run too, just coming up to a minute 30 now. This is going to be valuable points. Oh, and they haven't got to the gate. You've got to go through the gate. You've got to put your hubs either side of the gate. And Dave Mackay makes the biggest mistake of the day. Comes up short, and that will cost him. Brian Howe giving the drivers the last minute instructions as Bucky Engineering, Wayne Buckthorpe and his daughter Rachel, who just had a significant birthday, attack the course and don't get too far at all.
120 seconds here, so come on, Bucky.
He's decided to take it on a different tack, and he's had everything going except the ambulance, I would think, at this stage.
Good move, yeah.
So that's 40 seconds in time penalties alone. Just look at these big rocks hiding under the dirt here on these steep off-camber hills. So down the other side they come. 40 seconds in time penalties already. This isn't going to be quick at all. 53-40. Add the 40 seconds to it, that's over 90 seconds. Hamish Arrett, Paul Barnes next to go. Course number 2, you can guarantee these guys won't let you die wondering. They will give it everything. Never won the event, stood on the podium 4 out of 6 times. Can they make it to the top step this time? Can they make it to the top of the hill? Yes, they can. And this looks like a pretty good time too so far. 28.72, no penalties. That's the fastest we've seen. Salute is the next one to go. The CowperTruck is the general.
But hard to see where it's on the bottom. Here we go.
There's a rethink as he climbs the hill.
Four wheels here coming
Once again, tiptoeing down onto the front wheels is Russell Luder. Chris Tomlin is his very experienced co-pilot. Up the other side he goes, using all the power of the LS Chevy, gets his way to the top. And now, very, very slippery on the way down. Makes it nicely. No time penalties, remember, for Russell. Down into the finish. Oh, he's gone too far. You've got to finish with either hub, either side of the finish gate. And he's gone too far, so he's got to back up. That's going to make the time blow out. 54.33. Wow, that wasn't what Russell Luders wanted to see. Phil Cameron next to go. If you're new to the event, you're wondering what the 4 levers that the co-pilot are holding on to, they're individual brake levers. They can brake individually from each wheel. 4 penalties already for Phil Cameron, so that's 42nd onto the time, and over we go. Well, in 2016, Hamish Arrett did a backflip, but it was planned. That one wasn't. Have a look at this on the replay. Just the front wheels picked up the edge of that rut and sent them on their way. And back on the wheels, but out of contention. Here it is in super slow-mo. Breaks off one of the radius rods on the front suspension. Right next to go, this is Greg and Chris McDowell, the brothers. Killer B2 is the truck. It's a CowperTruck. And they've had problems straight away. And that's probably got something to do with the big ruts are exposed now. The loose dirt's come off. So let's see. We're looking at a 28, the best time so far. That was Hamish Arrett. Oh, and I just thought they were going to head straight for the tape, but they gathered it back up under control. 38.98. That's the second fastest time we've seen for the brothers, and that's 900 points. So after the speed event with no time for Smoko, it is Hamish Arrett on top from Neville Mather and the McDowells in third place. Plenty more action like this to come as we take a break from the Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge for 2021. This is Dan Cowper's property home for the 2021 Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge. This is course number 3. It's BNT sponsored Make It or Break It. Starts steep and then heads down the Devil's Staircase, U-turn at the bottom and straight up the other way. First to go, Jared Briggs and Fletch Crawford. Well, they didn't get off to the very best of starts. In 2 courses, they ended up on the roll cage in both. So now it's going to be a comeback action for Jared. He's won this event with his brother when they paired up. So far, so good as they tiptoe their way down these very, very steep challenges. Now it's a U-turn and straight up the other side, but it's not as simple as that. And look at the size of the steps they're going up, around about the same wheelbase as a 4x4 trial truck. And I think if you tap Dan Cowper on the shoulder, he would say that was by design. Well, that's another issue there, and that is he's running out of time. 1 second to go, the big crowd counts him down, and that is it for Jared Briggs. So he picks up 600 points at the BNT Hazard. This is Phil Walton. The Avenger just floating up to the top of the hill. This is a Nitro Bray combination. 4-wheel steer, LS Chevy powered. As I said before, Phil's been on either side of the seats. He's been a co-driver with his father. He's also been a driver. He was a co-driver with Scott Briggs when he won a couple of events ago now. So far, so good. And look at the advantage of 4-wheel steer as he negotiates the bottom. But he is slowly but surely running out of time. He's got to get up to the top, and he's got to do it in 15 seconds. And it's not going to be plain sailing. 10 seconds to go now for Walton out of Auckland. Time's going to be the big decider here. Can he get to the top in the time remaining? I don't know that he can. The crowd's getting a bit excited. Time limit's up, and I don't know that he got to 10. He didn't. And he took out gate number 8 as well. So what started well ended not so well. This is Neville Mather, and he's just been sneaking up. He's currently second in points after 2 events, or 2 courses. This is make it or break it. B&T, bring it to you. Toop towing his way through 5. Perfect so far. Back down to the bottom of the course, 600. 6 gates past, 100 per gate. This isn't a speed event, remember, but there is a time limit involved. You've got to get from the bottom to the top in 60 seconds. Now they're starting to make it a little bit harder for themselves. Time starting to tick away here. Going to have a second bite at the last part of this course. And they've decided to miss out 9 to get a better trajectory on 10. Remember, they're allowed to do that, and the officials have got the flag out. They say they hit the tape back down the course. So this is Stuart Earl. He's an accountant by profession. If you ever get frustrated being an accountant, you can take out his frustrations here in Dan Cowper's Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge. Speaking of Dan, Dan co-drove for Stuart in 2019, the last time this event was run. No 2020, remember, because of the COVID lockdown restrictions, but we're back bigger and better than ever in 2021 with some innovations. You'll see the clock ticking down. There is a 60-second time limit on this course. Just on 20 seconds to go for Stuart and Liam Earl. Oh, and they've gone over 7. And they're going to run out of time too, I would think, as they line up the uphill part of this course again. This is make it or break it. B&T give it to you. 3 seconds to go. The crowd get involved as well as they start to count them down here at Terrakina. And that is it. 60 seconds comes and goes quite quickly. The Mackay's next to go. Out of Hamilton. Another CowperTruck. This is the Riddler. Dave and Reese Mackay. You see they're taking all the cautions in the world. They want to negotiate all the gates, and Dave doing a pretty good job of it at the moment, because if they get through all of the 10 gates, that's 1,000 points, and that's more worth than trying to go fast and missing a few. So far, so good, but now time becomes their enemy. Dave and Reese Mackay out of Hamilton. Still got a little bit of time up their sleeve, 15 seconds to go to renegotiate. Remember, you're allowed to reverse, you're allowed to stop. This is an innovation this year. Now it's really against them though, as they try and get through 8. They make it through 8 to the Mackays. Not going to get any further though, they're going to time out. Hamish Red, Paul Barnes next to go. 222 Racing is the truck. It's a CowperTruck. It's powered by a Chev Corvette. You see, in a little bit of a innovation, Hamish works the front brakes and Paul Barnes, his co-pilot, works the rear brakes. Each lever corresponds to one wheel. And Hamish doing the driving as well. Perfect so far as they go through 6. Oh, and they got very, very close over 7. They've got time though, they back up and have another go at it. Safely through 7. Now take on 8. Oh, that's so close. That's brilliant driving from Hamish Red, but he just touched the 7 gate there on the way backwards. Through 8, he's not going to get to 9 by the look of it. Russell Luders, Chris Tomlin next to go. Oh, and they've made hard work at it right from the start. Time certainly on their side as they have another go. Chris Tomlin advising Russell as they get to the top in their CowperTruck. And once again, just have a look at the caution they take coming down. Because as I mentioned before, you clear each gate, that's 100 points. There's 10 gates on the course. After 2 hazards, Russell currently sitting in 3rd place. Hamish Arrett is our overall leader. This is course number 3. Perfect so far. Lines up 7. Gets through 7. Not going to make 8, and maybe the time is now his enemy. Oh, and takes 7 as well, and a mechanical issue to boot for Russell Luders. Next to go, this is Greg and Chris McDowell, the brothers. Killer B2 is the CowperTruck, sponsored by Cake Box. Once again, cautious approach to the downhill. Working his way to the bottom of the course, 600 points in the bank so far. Rounds up 7. Gets through 7. Gets through 8. Made 8 look easy. Not easy though, as he lines up 9. He's got a little bit of time. Oh, and he flirted with 8 again. Nearly backed over it. Managed to get it back under control. Gets through 9. Is he going to get to the top? Greg McDowell is going to get to the top. Yes, he does. But unfortunately caught one of the gates, so 900 valuable points for the McDowells. This is Scott Briggs and Sam Thompson. Nitro Custom is the truck. Trying to negotiate 3. Oh, and he just touched the gate. Just the merest of kisses, but it means no 100 points for Scott Briggs. Through 4 safely. 5 makes it look easy. 6 down to the bottom of the course once again. Oh, just that small mistake on gate number 3. Time's on his side. He negotiates 7. Can't get 8 the first time round. Has another go at it. This time he gets through 8 as well. Oh, the big wheelie. But does he get through 9? He's got a little bit of time on his side. 10 seconds or thereabouts. The crowd will start to count him down. Gets through 9 and easily clears 10. So 900 points for Scott Briggs. So once again on course 3, a tie at the top. McDowell and Briggs, 900 apiece. Still to come, the crowd pleaser from 2019. And that is the Mickey Thompson Tyres Send It Like a Boss. Welcome back to the Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge. We have got to the crowd-pleasing stage of the day. This is course number 4. Mickey Thompson Tyres brings it to you. It's Send It Like a Boss. Essentially, there's 2 hazards to look out for, and they both involve tyres. And by the way, the clock is ticking. This big crowd really getting their money's worth as we welcome out onto the course Phil Walton. Oh, and he's got it wrong right from the start, just miscalculated the landing spot. And you see he didn't clear the course, he didn't clear the gate, so he loses the 100 points. He hits gate 3 as well. So it's gone a little bit wrong for the Aucklander. Brendan Austin is his co-driver. Once again in radio contact together. Oh, this is taking precious seconds. We know you're allowed to stop on the course and reverse up this time. It's an innovation for 2021. But Phil Walton taking it to the absolute extreme as he takes out 5. And I think he's going to be able to negotiate 6, is it? The 4-wheel steer coming into good use there as he gets to the bottom of the course. He won't be happy with that. From 6 gates, he's navigated 300 points. And he's got it even more wrong as he goes end over end. On the first pass of the Mickey Thompson Tyres. Here it is from a different angle. Well, that was a round he'd love to forget. Here's a man currently sitting in 2nd place. This is Neville Mather. Richard Verner sits alongside him. They tiptoe over hazard 1, but they get through. Oh, and they're not messing around. Obviously, time is on the mind of Neville Mather. He's perfect so far as he backs up to negotiate 4. Now time becomes a worry. Through 4, through 5, through... Oh, he's got to get it stopped. Oh, he's so close to the gate, but he's through 6 as well, so he's perfect so far. Now, can he get the tyres right? He can. Slowly, slowly catch the monkey. You don't have to absolutely gun it to get over there. It's all about timing, and Neville Mather's got that timing in spades. But now he's got none left. What will that mean to the overall situation? It was close for first and second between Aurette and Mather. Aurette still to come. This is Stuart and Liam Earl. Whoa! Puts it into orbit. Oh, and he hits the Suzuki tapes. Well, he pleases the crowd, and then it goes all wrong for him. Have a look at on the replay. Maybe a sudden rush of blood to the head. And boy, oh boy, it was doubtful whether that was going to come down, but it did, and then they couldn't pull it up, and he hits the Suzuki tapes, and all that spectacular action is for nothing. This is the Mackay's from Hamilton. The CowperTruck is the Riddler. Dave and Reese. Father and son combination. Reese working on the individual brakes. Oh, and they get very sideways, and that's always a worrying time, because I don't think the drivers will tell you they've got control. I don't think they have when the truck's sledging sideways down and off Camber Hillside. Dave Mackay's got control at the moment, though. Looking to negotiate 4. Clears 4, hits 5. Now down through 6 is okay. Oh, he's perilously close to that Suzuki boundary tape. Oh, and the officials say he hits it. So that's not a good return, just 400 points for the Mackays. Here's a close-up look of the latest Mickey Thompson Pro XS tyres on the Gambler. This is the brand new CowperTruck of Kevin Hermison. So many innovations. 4-wheel steering, independent suspension front and rear, and a mid-mounted LSA supercharged Chev with a power glide transmission where the engine should be, so it's completely backwards. It's all about weight distribution and lower centre of gravity. So far so good for Kevin Hermison and Nick Hamilton. They're clear. They're not clear any longer though. He's got 4. He's missed 5. He chose to do that. He would love to get up and over the Mickey Thompson tyres, and he's got the first pass of it just absolutely dead right. In 2019, Hermison Contracting sponsored this hazard, and there was $100 cold hard cash coming out of Hermie's pocket every time people made a double clearance, and Hermison is not going to make that double clearance because he has got an issue and he's going to run out of time. We're hearing from the officials that it's a throttle issue that plagued him in a previous course as well, so that's bad luck for Hermie. This is Paul Barnes doing the navigational duties for Hamish Aurette. Currently the leaders as we work into course number 4. Send it like a boss. Mickey Thompson Tyres brings it to you. And Hamish just so casual behind the wheel, makes it all look so easy. And have a look at the brilliant way he's just driven through 5. Just let the truck have its head and just slid through. Clears 6 easily as well. Now the Mickey Thompson tyres. Doesn't send it this time, does it with timing and aplomb, and gets the first part of the hazard over with. Are we going to see a perfect run here from Wanganui's favourite son, Hamish Aurette and Paul Barnes? They've got time if they need to have another go at it. 15 seconds to go. The crowd are holding their breath. I'm sure Hamish is holding his breath. This time he clears it. That's 1,000 points. That's a perfect run. Russell Luders, Chris Tomlin next to go. Slightly more reserved approach this time as they clear 1, clear 2. Perfect so far through 3. There's a repo to line up 4 and 5. They've been watching what Hamish Aurette did. Can they replicate that? That was perfect from Aurette to slide it through 5, and Luders does the same thing. Oh no, he gets very, very sideways. Thought the back of the truck was going to hit 6, it didn't. He's got a repo again. He's got 22 seconds left to get down to the Mickey Thompson tyres. Make it 20 seconds now. The crowd starting to count down. The crowd getting a little bit vocal. This was the crowd favourite here in 2019. Pretty easy to see why. Russell Luders' first attempt isn't a good one. Now he's going to run out of time. 5 seconds left to go. They have a quick conversation to Russell and Chris, and they decide no more. Greg and Chris McDowell, the brothers, next to go. Killer B2 is the CowperTruck. Made it look difficult, but clear through 1 and 2. bit of urgency about the preparation in this one. They're well aware of the 60-second time penalty. So far, so good as they line up 4 through 4. Oh, hit 5. Through 6, though. The Cake Box are the sponsors. Over the top they go. Pretty near perfect. Now can they repeat the dose? We're not going to see the perfect score because they've gone wrong earlier on. We've got time on our hands, 20 seconds to go. All they got to do is leap the Mickey Thompson tyres and get through the number 10 gate. They leap the tyres. Can they get through the gate? Yes, they can. 900 valuable points for the McDells. Scott Briggs, Sam Thompson next to go. Currently second, equal with Neville Mather. Big air once again as they go over the first of the Mickey Thompson tyres, and a big impact too for the Nitro Custom truck. Oh, and he clipped 3. Now here's a second bite of the cherry to line up 4. Hits 5, drove straight into it. 6 is okay. Now the hard part of the journey, clear the tyres, clears them easily. 20 seconds to go. Does he get it in the first attempt? No, he doesn't. In fact, he's completely offline. You can't do that. You've got to hit him square. Now time becomes a factor. Oh, and over he goes. Clipped 8 and 9 in the process of the rollover. This one, inch perfect. The next attempt, not so much. Here it is from a different angle. This has ramifications for the overall scores as well, as Jared Briggs and Fletch Crawford come out onto the course. Send it like a boss. Mickey Thompson Tyres brings it to you. These guys using all the supposed 900 horsepower of the supercharged LS Chevy under the bonnet of boosted. Through 4. Well, tried to do the same as Hamish Arrett, but couldn't quite get it done. So that's going to cost them. Doesn't get 5, goes through 6. 15 seconds remaining over the first part of the Mickey Thompson Tyres has it. Can he get the second part now? Jared Briggs. Oh, he's beached it, I think. Now he's going to run out of time. So 700 points only for Jared Briggs there. Yes, he knows they're out of time. Well, fantastic to see Phil Cameron and Bo Taylor back after repairs to their truck. Nitro 6. And because they're out of start order, they'll only get half points. So instead of 100 points per gate, for these guys it's 50. They hit 3. They reposition for 4. You're looking into the eyes of Phil Cameron. Not too sure if that's a scowl or just concentration on his face. Oh, and they glip 5 as well. Just got a little bit away on him there. They got way too sideways. So lines up 6 now. Hits 6 just with the left rear. And they've got an issue. They've got no rear drive. You see the rear wheels are locked. They've got a problem here. He's not going anywhere. Those rear wheels locked completely. So course 4 results see Hamish Arrett perfect on 1,000, McDowell in second, Mather in third, and then Hermison in fourth. Overall, after 4 of 12, it is Hamish Arrett leading from Mather and Scott Briggs. That is the end of episode 1 of the Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge. Come back next week for episode 2, where you'll see another 4 courses of the 12 that make up the Suzuki Extreme 4x4 Challenge for 2021.